We asked students in our Student Reporting Labs network what returning to in-person learning looks and feels like.
Life in general just feels kind of overwhelming.
I've lost a lot of social skills during the quarantine, and I'm worried that I'm gonna be too nervous to talk to people.
Have you ever been to a school board meeting? Do you like your sanity? Well, I don't. That's why me and Jeremiah attended the 2021 board meetings this past fall in our hometown of Leander, Texas.
So I just made it to the conference center.
Actually, we also went because school boards make decisions that really do affect students. And as a youth journalist, we needed to see what was really going on.
The shortage of teachers, substitutes, bus drivers, custodial staff, and more.
I don't even have an English teacher, and it makes it really hard to learn with no one in the classroom.
Alice Scott from our Student Reporting Labs talks to 2 teens in Texas.
Jake Wagner, a 9th grader from Austin, Texas, came out as transgender in November of 2020.
Even though I don't know a lot of things right now, as a younger person, I know who I am.
The stories I want to be telling in the future are the ones that have an impact on a person. I want to tell a story that makes someone do something just a little different for once.
Our national network of young reporters, they're part of our Student Reporting Lab, asked their fellow students what grown-ups should know about what it's like growing up in this era of gun violence in schools.
Kids in America don't hear a fire alarm and fear fire, they fear a shooter.
It just happens so often. You see them in the news all the time. It no longer really has that much of an impact on us anymore.
There's a high level of anxiety among students, and everyone wants a little bit of insight on what's been going on lately.
The podcast On Our Minds is produced with and by teenagers in partnership with our Student Reporting Labs.
As long as there's stress in the world, we're not gonna get rid of anxiety anytime soon, but we can learn to live with it and deal with it in a healthy manner. I think that's the biggest takeaway from all of this.
This is On Our Minds
with Matt
and Faiza,
a podcast about teenagers and mental health.
We were really getting the ball started for what is going to be like one of the largest mental health movements.
I always say students have voice, and throughout my career, some of the best experiences I had as an educator and as a school and district leader were when we allowed students to have more say in how things get done.
But what do you want your audience to gain from watching that show?
I want us to remember that we, with all of our differences, still share common ground, literally. I want people to see this show and be like, yo, America's big and it's wild out there and it's beautiful, and look at all these different people finding shared value in this common ground. Oh, look at this, my co-host Zion over here.
I'm joined by 2 incredible co-hosts who are also incredible student journalists.
My co-host is in Hawaii and I'm in Alabama.
Being able to communicate like this has made me feel so connected that I feel like Terry's in the next room and you guys are in the room next to me, and like so close the way that we're communicating and connecting.
To all of the student producers and journalists and everyone who contributed to this program, thank you, thank you, thank you for being a part of it.
Earth, are we recording? This is the SRL Happy Dance.